specialty: tag, monkey bars, and anything ending in ball. In class, my times tables were renowned for their speed and accuracy. At home, my toy inventory was thorough and varied. My prank calls sophisticated and complex. Life was good. But that summer, my dad sat me down and told me the worst news a kid can get. We lived too far from the grocery store. He was sick of driving. We'd be moving to a less suburban suburb to be closer to milk. So now, thanks to the logistical tyranny of dairy, I faced an existential crisis. If I peaked in 4th grade and no one at my new school saw it, did it even happen? In 5th grade, I began to climb the social ladder. Recess was still my forte, but I think the girls liked that I was huggably small. On weekends, they crimped my tow-headed hair and they put mascara on my windshield wiper eyelashes. We sang along to Britney, and I slowly became an honorary member of their girls-only club. One day in spring, Betsy invited me over. Folks, this was huge. A new rung on the ladder. She'd also invited Miranda and Gabby, completing the triumvirate of female 5th grade social overlords. And Gabby, elegant, composed, half French, knew I was big time crushing on her. My mom drove me over, and I gave myself a pep talk in the car. All right, David, don't sound too eager. Don't say anything weird, and don't, under any circumstances, embarrass yourself. Betsy had a shoes-off type of house. They had one of those rooms you're not allowed to go in. With white carpet and a piano that no one played. In the backyard, they had an ambitious vegetable garden, and they had a trampoline. It's no surprise I was a bit of a show-off in these years. Look how fast I can run, that kind of thing. So you can imagine that trampolines were like crack to me. A cartoonishly bouncy platform for me to impress people. And if there were 3 people in the world to impress, they were all at Betsy's. We went out to the trampoline and played Truth or Dare, but that game sucks when they say truth every time. So I just started jumping around. This was my chance to cement my 5th grade legacy midair. This was my moment. This was my time to shine. Just as I loaded up for my big showboaty jump, Gabby grabbed my sweatpants. Whether this was a joke or a physics experiment, I would never know. But right as I launched, my waistband slammed head-on into gravity's unrelenting pull. My pants and underwear would now best be described as ankle warmers. I remember the weather. The sun cut through the blue jean sky. A hint of wet bark hovered. It was ear-stingingly cold. One pant leg dangled off my foot as I reached the summit of my jump. I had a beautiful view of the garden. I froze somewhere between ascent, descent, and never showing up to school again. Giggles formed below. Betsy yelped. Miranda snorted. They covered their eyes, but it was too late. There's a piece of string that sailors attach to their sails to indicate wind direction. They're called telltales, and they flutter and flop around in the breeze. Apparently, they're not just for sailing. Because there I was, stalled midair, my sails at my ankles, and like the sailor's floppy telltale, mine bore witness to the whims of nature. It was currently indicating a brisk southeastern gust. As I began my descent, I was reminded of the grotesque discrepancies in development between 5th grade boys and girls. Betsy, Miranda, and Gabby had comfortably crossed the threshold into adolescence with grace, efficiency, and a seamless inevitability that gave the impression they'd been briefed on it in advance. If puberty was an exam, they aced it. I must have called in sick. I desperately wanted to burst through the trampoline straight into the ground, where I would Bugs Bunny all the way back to my old school, to recess, where I was a star and everyone knew me as the kid who always wore pants. woven mesh in a pile of self-consciousness. I began a search party for my pants. The girls searched for a comforting script. Gabby said, "We didn't see anything," but she said it way too fast, which confirmed they saw everything. I stared at the sky to avoid eye contact. Then I stared at the vegetable garden. The lettuce was thriving, but the tomatoes, still blooming, still waiting for their moment, still waiting for their time to shine.